Welcome back to News Junkies. I'm Bill DeFoi. Joining me right now is Richard Bryan, and he is a member of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. And Richard, good to have you with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
Tell us a little bit about the Order of the Purple Heart and what it means.
Well, the Military Order of the Purple Heart was founded by Congress to recognize and have a place for Purple Heart recipients to interact with one another. The organization is about veterans, helping veterans, and the Purple Heart medal itself goes back to the days of George Washington and bears his likeness, which didn't actually come into existence until after his death. He said, yes, you can use my likeness. And it was around for several years, and then it lost favor, and then it came back. And principally, the Purple Heart signifies that a veteran has served in combat and has been injured in combat. I myself have the honor of actually being a double recipient. So my Purple Heart has a silver star on it.
When you say that you're a double recipient, as you've indicated, you've been wounded twice in combat. Yeah. Could you tell us about that experience and what you went through to get injured and obviously get the Purple Heart?
Yes. The first incident was at a place north of Da Nang called Hai Phong Pass. And we lived in bunkers with the Vietnamese soldiers. When I say we, that would be principally the Marines, and I served as their Navy corpsman. And one night, a young Marine that was on guard duty thought he saw an enemy soldier hanging on a limb coming down off of the upside of the mountain. And so we opened fire, and there was a lot of chaos, and I got shot in my right shoulder. And so that was my first award. I was treated in the field and stayed on duty and healed. The second time was down around Chu Lai, and we had been moving all day, all night, and we were resting and getting ready to move all night again. The operations there were what were called block and sweep. So you would basically have 4 different groups involved. You worked in a square. So 2 sides of the square would move while the other 2 sides stayed stationary. And those 2 sides would move while the others stayed stationary. And what was unusual about that particular day was that the company commander, his assistant company commander, the master gunny sergeant, and the senior gunny sergeant, if I use those terms correctly, it's the top 2 gunny sergeants, were all in the field together. That never happened. And why it happened that day, I don't know. But we were resting, we'd had our food, we'd gotten the Red Cross care packages, our mail, and up the road, up the trail from where we were was a small hamlet. And so the sniper and I walked up there just to see what was going on, something we should not have done. And but he was a very comedic guy, and so he was entertaining the villagers, pretending he had his foot stuck in a bucket. And when we came back down the trail, I commented to him. I said, they were laughing. But I said, those people hate us. And he said, how do you know? I said, I could see it in their eyes. Their eyes were as cold as steel. And so we started moving out. Right after we had cleared the area where all of the leading officers had been and the troops, the underground tunnels opened up. They would make camouflage doors, and they opened up, and there was a crossfire. Had we not cleared the area, there would have been probably 25, 30 people killed. Wow. And so returned fire, they disappeared. As we headed up the trail, a good Marine friend of mine, one of my Marines in my platoon, I'm very possessive of my Marines that I served with, stepped on a booby trap. The corpsman, the junior corpsman, who was always closer to the point person, didn't know how to do it. He's a nice young man, but he shouldn't have been in Vietnam. He was skinny, he was weak, he couldn't carry his rifle, his flak jacket, but that's the nature of war. And so they called me up. So while I was bandaging the Marine who had his heel blown off, the other corpsman stepped on a booby trap under me, and it blew me over into the bushes. And so I remember laying there for a few seconds, and I'm going, well, the brain's still working. I can move my arms, and I jumped up, because if there was more of it, I figured I'd rather lose a leg or something than my arms or my eyesight. And so then I finished treating well, I had to go to work on the corpsman, because he had his foot blown off. So I had to get him stabilized, get a tourniquet on him, and get the bleeding stopped and the bandages on. Then I finished the other corpsman, and then there was 3 other corpsmen that claimed they couldn't see. And so I washed their eyes out, and they said they still couldn't see. By this time, it's dark, and so I told the lieutenant I need to take all these men in. And so I had the other 3 hold the other 2 Marines up and had them hop on one foot to the LZ. I didn't want them going into shock. And so we went to the LZ, the helicopter command, a Chinook, and it has a back door that folds down it can also haul equipment. And there's a big guy standing in the door with his arms either side. And he asked, well, I got to back up a little bit. Before we got on the helicopter, the captain asked me if I was hurt. And I said, I don't think so. I think I just got some powder burns, but I think I ought to have them checked out. So he asked me to turn around, and he said, do you realize you don't have any fabric in your pants from your waist down to your knees, and that you've been bleeding? I said, no, I'm not aware of that.
Wow.
He said, you're getting on the helicopter. So the big guy's there blocking the door, and he says, can I help you? And I said, yeah, you can get the F out of my way so I can take care of my men. And I'd already taken the weapons away from the Marines and surrendered my weapon, because there's a syndrome where soldiers in combat can have a traumatic response, and they just start shooting for no reason. And so I had gotten that done. And I took them in, got my Marines settled, give them their morphine, and then I went over and sat down next to the big guy, and that's when I realized he was a doctor. And so I apologized to him, and he said, no, it's okay, Doc. He said, you're right, I was in my way. And I'm proud to say that all of those boys went home. And I had a policy that when one of my Marines got hurt, I would wait a couple of weeks, and then I would write their parents. And I have the most beautiful letters that I received back from parents. I honest to God consider those letters more of a recognition than having, should I have received the Bronze Star.
Well, that's an incredible story. And I know that one of your passions is to help veterans out even to this day. So what are some of the things that you're involved with in helping out with veterans and their issues?
I joined the Military Order, the Purple Heart. They're a group, as I mentioned, veterans helping veterans. For example, we recently lost a Marine, and they're helping the family with the funeral arrangements, with the cost of the funeral services. I also joined a group called the Ventura County Military Collaborative. That's an organization of about 140 members, and they're all service agencies, not only for veterans, but for current military personnel on duty. And they work on helping the veterans with not only benefits, but health care, family issues, children with special needs. We send packages to the veterans in Afghanistan. We recently did one and asked each member to bring 5 items. They give you a specific list. It was for 5 veterans. This group is so dynamic. They got enough to send 5 boxes. And, and they know that when a veteran gets a care package, they share it with those who do not. And so now they sent all 25 packages to the same 5 veterans. They also do a toy drive for children at Christmas time. A lot of people don't realize that in the military, you get the same pay amount regardless of where you are in the country. Now, if you're in Kentucky or North Carolina, you're doing pretty good. You're in Southern California and you're a low-ranking enlisted person and you have a couple of children, you're not doing so good. And so they help out with those kind of things. And I enjoy the collaborative, and I enjoy being a part of the Purple Heart Order.
Now, do you have an opportunity to go out and speak to groups and at veterans of functions where people can learn more about the Order of the Purple Heart and other things that you might be interested in sharing with others?
Not so much. I'm not a designated spokesman for the Purple Heart Order or the collaborative. I have been invited to make a presentation to the City of Oxnard Community Relations Commission. The Veterans Affairs is having a town hall meeting on May 20th, and I will be doing not an invitational, but a guest presentation there. I've also been invited by the Livingston Memorial Nursing Foundation to assist them with a presentation at the Bonaventure Assisted Living Facility in Ventura for the widows of veterans. They recently invited myself and 4 other veterans to come and be recognized. It's called a pinning ceremony. They give you a very nice American flag lapel pin, and I can tell you, you won't find that quality lapel pin at the 99-cent store. It's a really nice pin. And so they, one of the ladies there said, well, why don't you recognize the widows? And so through the Purple Heart Order, I actually found out there actually is a Widows Memorial Day in May. And so we're working on getting that organized, and I will speak at that event. But when I do meet veterans, I ask them, you know, are you attending these events? Are you going? Do you have the booklets? Have you read the booklets? Because it's important.
It is important, and you know, you're talking about being injured while in Vietnam, and it sounds to me like, Richard, you bleed not just red, but white and blue as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And we appreciate your service. If people wanted more information about the Order of the Purple Heart, how can they go about doing that?
You can go online, just go online and type in the Military Order of the Purple Heart.
And all of that contact information will then come up.
Yeah, the website. I'll give a little pitch for the Military Order of the Purple Heart. They will take your broken down cars off of your hands as a charitable donation, and then they recycle them, and then the funds go into their charitable activities.
Well, it's going to be an important month, with the month of May here, with Memorial Day coming up later on this month, and of of course, Veterans Day in November. So again, we want to thank you for coming by and sharing a little bit about the Order of the Purple Heart and your experience in Vietnam.
Well, thank you. It was my distinct pleasure to be here.
All right.
Take care and God bless.
You too. Richard Bryan is my guest, and again, the man bleeds red, white, and blue. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bill DeFoi. We'll see you next time right here on News Junkies, a production of the Heritage Media Group.